In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what we call the Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper, the host of this program, known here on social media. Wherever you may find me, I am known as the mighty Angel Snuff 7. I am your soul brother, number one. There's a paragraph, an often used paragraph, place in the scriptures of those who are familiar with biblical teachings, making reference to the Jesus Christ, calling him a man born out of due season, or a man born before his time. The great Bruce Lee, may he rest in peace, has also been called a man born out of due season, before his time, because he was doing, and Jesus was doing, and there are others of whom we can say born out of due season. They are called this. They were doing something that was unusual, that was new, that people could not really understand, that is normal and acceptable today. But they were doing it way before it became popular or the norm or acceptable. A man born out of due season. I view myself as a man born out of due season. I don't feel as though I was born in the 1960s. I don't feel as though I belong in this time. I belong in a future time. There are those who may find these videos, they may find my writings. He said this a long time ago. A man born out of due season. The reality is, my ancestors, the audience that I'm talking to, the descendants of slaves born in America, having melanated skin or dark skin, soul brothers and sisters, the so-called African American, the once called Negro in this country. The reality is, for hundreds, not for a few months, not for a few days, not for a few years, hundreds of years, the people that I come from were slaves. A slave does not lead nothing. A slave lives solely for the benefit of another person. There's no need for you to think. There's no need for you to visualize anything. There's no need for you to create anything. And if you do create something, it goes to your massa. Our people were property. Like a car, like a house. Like a goat, like a sheep, like a cow, like a dog and a cat. Property. You do your thinking. You do the thinking for your dog and your cat. You tell them when it's time to eat, when it's time to walk. They don't have to do nothing except please you. And that's all my ancestors was for hundreds of years. And that's how it is for the dog and the cat and the goldfish and the snake, whatever animal you have enslaved in your house. They are there for your benefit. There's no benefit to them. And you, our people, we was in the same condition as your cat and your dog. And you don't find nothing wrong with that. So if it's all right for you to enslave your pit bull and your goldfish and your lizard and whatever animal, the parakeet, whatever animal you got caged up for your enjoyment, why was it, or why are you all upset and say it's not right for you to be a slave, for you to be somebody's pet? And our ancestors was treated like pets. The same thing. But when you're a slave, when you're a pet, there's no need for you to look out for your future. It's all in your massa hands. There's no need for you to do anything. You don't have to worry about the drought. You don't have to worry about the earthquake. You don't have to worry about the wars. You don't have to worry about nothing. Your slave master, the shepherd, got you. So when we had the civil rights movement, the black revolutionary movement, when Nat Turner rebelled and others rebelled, they were men and women born out of due season because the people themselves, slaves. What could have been accomplished if the whole 18 to 20 million was thinking like Huey P. Newton or Dr. King or Brother Malcolm or Elijah Muhammad or whomever during that period of time? Fannie Lou Hamer. What is the whole? But these were born out of due season, because I know in my family, they were content being a slave in Jim Crow. And many of you, your family, they was just content in Jim Crow. They didn't do a damn thing. They were not people born out of due season. They accepted their condition of being a pet in somebody else's zoo. But that's the reality of it. I'm not upset. I'm not frustrated. I understand. I understand. Because many of you, you're not born out of due season. You are exactly where you need to be in this time, a slave, a content, comfortable slave. Why do you say that? There are, and I saw a news report where black men, especially black men, black women are loyal to the Democratic Party. They are loyal to this white man. Whoever is in charge of the Democratic, but they are loyal to President Biden. But there are black men who have decided to become rebellious, go against the norm, go against tradition, and I'm going to, because things are so bad, I am going to support Donald Trump. And really, you lose, whether it's Trump or Biden or whoever Caucasian person that's in office. It don't make any difference. You lose. But I feel better because I think that my vote, I think I'm part of, they make you feel as though you're part of the process. And I'm going to vote for Trump. Donald Trump. Because I'm not born out of due season. Because being born out of due season is, I would take advantage of that, but I want my own. I want to make my own laws. I want my own land. I want my own grapes. I want my own tomatoes. I want to control resources. I want to make my own laws. I'm sick of people telling me what I can and cannot do. I'm tired of going to jail because these suckers have a unjust criminal system. I want to do my own. You're born out of due season because the majority, the 40 million plus black people, soul brothers and sisters in this country, not interested. They are exactly where they want to be, which is comfortable and safe, looking for the great white hope as usual. I'm going to vote for Franklin Roosevelt. He likes Negroes. I wish I could vote for Abraham Lincoln. I wish I could vote for Franklin Roosevelt or John F. Kennedy, looking for a better slave master. And so here comes a person who's a Trump ding-a-ling rider, actually believe they are talking better than I am. And the only thing they're looking for is the great white hope. How are you better? How are you smarter? How are you more intelligent than I am? When the only thing you are doing is looking for the great white hope. He gonna save me. So you put a cape on Donald Trump's back. See, to be a man out of due season, you understand that freedom and liberation is not free. And we must gamble. Whether we win or lose, I'm going to gamble and fight hard because I want to be in charge. The patriots of this nation did not leave Britain, did not leave England so they can be puppets to England. I'm doing all the work. I want my own thing. But see, a slave is not a man, because a man, I want my own. Just like you grew up and you want your own house. And in your house, you don't put the same furniture in your house like you was living in your parents' house. You have your own couch, your own refrigerator. You drive the kind of car that you feel that you like. You raise your children the way you feel they need to be raised. That's how men do. That's how women do. I want my own. When you're a slave, whatever dog food you throw in the kennel, that's what the dog gotta eat. Whatever kind of water, whenever you want to go out for a walk, whatever the pet is relegated to the ways of their slave master. And this is the position that we are in or have been in this country for hundreds of years. So how are you better when you're supposed to be a man and you don't have no desire, no wanting to do for yourself? And then you have another creepy ideology. I can do it on my own some way. I'm going to be able to be successful by myself. I'm an individualist. You're not going to be no individualist in a system that is powered by organization and unity. The individual can only go so far, and the individual can be easily destroyed. Because once you get rid of the individual, that's the end. That's why these people like assassination. Because when you depend upon the individual, and the individual is the head, we destroy, kill the individual, and the body falls. How many presidents have the United States had? Going on 47, 48 or whatever. It keeps rolling. Black folks have a problem because your leader dies or get assassinated and you fall and got to start all over again from scratch. Because even though you're organized, you're still an individual. This is mine. This is what we do. This is mine. Follow the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Follow the teachings of Marcus Garvey. And so when they die, when they get deported or whatever the hell happened to them, you just fall apart. Because even though it's organized, it's still founded upon individuals. So when those individuals die or when they betray you, you fall. But those who are born out of due season understand these things, so you're not dependent upon me. The people must be dependent upon themselves. Because I can be murdered, I can die, or I can simply get so sick, I'm no good to you. So what you're going to do, you're just going to fall apart. And that's what you see in the soul black community. Because we depend on individuals instead of the development of the people themselves. That's why the United States of America is strong as it is, because it's not dependent upon an individual. It's dependent upon a certain mindset that's beyond the individual. They're not looking for the great hope. So these men, they don't want to be called gay, but that's gay. The way they talk about Donald Trump, you riding this man's jockey straps. It's embarrassing for me as a man. That's embarrassing to come out in the public and you jockeying and riding this man's jockey strap. So he can put more biscuits on your plate. Because that's all you're going to get. You're not going to get nothing out of it. You're not even man enough. You're going to vote for him for what? What is he going to give you? A slave cannot make demands. A slave must settle for whatever crumbs that the massa, the pet owner, puts in his cage, puts in a bowl. You supposed to be a man, but you don't want to go out and get your own water, your own food. Because they relegated you. You have a slave mindset, a pet mentality. That's too hard. So you depend upon the great white hope, a new slave master that would treat you better. Because you've yet to become a man and don't want to be a man. So how the hell you don't get angry at me, you don't get upset and act like you better than me, when those who are born out of due season, we don't really know how, but we want our own. Well, actually now we do know how. By the implementation of this vision that we call the Mississippi Campaign, you have nothing better. And whether people like it or not, you do this, you're going to be viewed and you're going to be seen as a man, whether they like it or not. Because you're going to have substance behind you. What you built with your own hands, with your own mind. And this woman will be happy to be right there by your side when you act like a man. Instead of thinking with your other brain downstairs, which is really your main problem.